Hello everybody, this is Dave here. This is a contest entry for the Kirkham Report's Obscuria challenge. The Kirkham Report can be found at TKR VideoCentral. I'll put a link down here. Their original intention of their contest was part of a push to 200 subscribers, but I see they've gone way past that now, so that's all good for them. I suggest you like and subscribe to the channel and all that kind of stuff. It's probably a bit late, close to the closing time for me suggesting you do a submission response because the deadline's this Saturday. But hey, if you want to get something in quick, it's under the wire. The link to their contest will be in the description as well. So what's the meat of the contest? To show 10 releases that we think none of the rest of you will have. Ideally, they've asked no more than 2 media formats, and as usual for this sort of thing, you have to make a video, be a subscriber to the originator's channel, and tell them in the comments to the original post that you've done one. Right, so onto my entry then. I've picked 5 records and 5 CDs. You could argue that perhaps the records aren't all the same format. You'll see why in a minute. But I hope it'll be accepted anyway because I think they're interesting. So first up is this copy of Elmer Bernstein's Walk on the Wild Side soundtrack. I'm sure as a whole this isn't obscure at all, but only 3 people on Discogs appear to have this specific mono UK release from 1962, so I'm going to bet that none of you have. Number two is this 1980s rescoring of a 1929 silent Louise Brooks movie, Le Journal d'une Fille Perdue. The English translation rather hilariously says Diary of a Fallen Mad here on the sleeve. It's clearly a typo and should say maid. Side 1 has 1 composer and uses a string quartet for the early parts of the film where the heroine is in a sort of reform school borstal, and side 2 is a different composer and is written for solo piano for later parts of the film where she's ended up in a brothel. Number 3 is a 10-inch single called Vashta Narada by a band called Traffic Experiment, and as you can see by the bit in brackets there, it's a sort of cover of the Doctor Who theme. It's very good. There is a video of it, them playing it on YouTube somewhere, so I'll try and put a link to that in the description below as well. And on side 2 they've got an original song of their own called New Moon Lullaby. Number 4 is this. We apologise for the inconvenience. An infinitely improbable play about Douglas Adams. It is exactly that. It's a recording of a stage play about the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and his struggles with deadlines and procrastination and inspiration and his tendency to just go and sit in a bath. It's an edition of 250. I've got number, what have I got there? 25. I've actually got 2 copies of this since this first one arrived with a big crack in the vinyl which made it unplayable. I asked them very politely if they might send me a replacement, and they did. And then number 5, and this is why I'm concerned about format, is this 10-inch shellac 78. Look at that. Which is the Crane River Jazz Band playing Slow Drag Blues on one side and Tain't Nobody's Business If I Do on the other side. This was my dad's. I've inherited it. According to Discogs, this was released in 1952. So my dad would have bought that in his mid-20s. Yeah, so I've inherited that from him, along with a few other 78s, some Fats Waller and some Bunk Johnson and so on. Right, onto the CD half of the entries. At 6, we've got this Label X CD from 1985 of Joseph Carl Bryle's score for The Birth of a Nation. Obviously something of a problematic film these days, but still a landmark in cinema history and in pre-Golden Age scoring. So yeah, 1915. Next up, what are we at? We're at 7 now. We have Say It in Russian. This is another film score. A lot of my stuff is film scores. It's a 500 copy issue from the Moscow-based label Keep Moving Records. It's a fairly early score, 2007 I think, from Pinar Toprak, who's gone on recently to score major movies like The Lost City and Captain Marvel, and TV series like Krypton and Stargirl, and a lot of Disney shorts. Number 8 is a Japanese TV mini-series score by Yoko Kanno. Ona Jushu Naotora. That's my appalling attempt at pronouncing Japanese. It translates as Naotora, the Lady Warlord. Great packaging on this. We've got an Obi strip, and we've got a clear plastic outer slip case with white printed floral designs on it, and then an outer booklet with, it's on nice matte paper with lots of photos from the series in it. And then you've got the regular jewel case on the inside with the disc and the usual booklet with all the credits and so on. At 9 we have this. It's an album called The Tree. If you can read that there, that's the Riotous Brothers. No, not the Righteous Brothers, the Riotous Brothers. It's a sort of pun, you see. UK radio listeners may know the drummer Dirk Maggs as the writer, director, producer of lots of great radio drama adaptations, stuff like Neil Gaiman's Sandman and the later series of Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide. Some other Neil Gaiman things as well, I suspect. So that's that. And lastly, at 10 we have Plague and the Moonflower, which is an oratorio with music by Richard Harvey and libretto by the cartoonist and illustrator Ralph Steadman. And Steadman also did the illustrations. You see it's in a nice little sort of hardback book. Steadman did the illustrations for that. There we are. And it's got an illustrious voice cast. Sir Ben Kingsley as the narrator, the late much missed Ian Holm, and Penelope Wilton. It's great stuff, and I think Harvey is a much underappreciated composer. So there we have it. Let me know if I've miscalculated and you've got any of those. Otherwise, thank you for viewing my submission. Good luck to everybody else. See you next time. Stay fresh, cheese bags.